Our top story this month, heroin. In 2013, the drug was labeled an epidemic by DuPage County. The DuPage County Coalition Against Heroin put forward a plan. And I checked in to see how far they've come and what else is being done a little closer to home.
We're a good family. We're a Christian family. We work, we go to church, and you're not with your kids 24 hours a day. The biggest misconception is, not my child, we're a good family. It has nothing to do with that. Someone makes a bad choice and unleashes a monster.
A monster that kills up to 50% of those who start using. In 2013, a rising number of deaths related to heroin prompted the DuPage County coroner to address the county board, informing them of the epidemic.
When our coroner, Dr. Jorgensen, sort of pressed the alarm button, we had to decide whether or not we're going to react or whether or not we're going to just sit and not do anything. We decided to act, and we formed the group that we have.
The DuPage County Coalition Against Heroin created a three-pronged approach to addressing the drug problem, two of which are already in place. First, education. They launched an informative website that people could use to gather information on the epidemic and partnered with the Robert Crown Center to educate youth through class visits.
And we've been successful with that over the last 2 years. They've come on board. The first year we made the project available to 12 schools, and the county agreed to pay 50%. Now it's available to all middle schools and high schools throughout the county.
Next, medical intervention. The county received special approval from the FDA to allow first responders to administer Narcan, a drug that reverses the symptoms of an overdose.
And that program was started in 2013, began really in full force in 2014. And we have to date saved 76 lives.
But is the county doing enough? One local man doesn't think so, but thinks they're on the right track.
You know, the county's hands are tied too. There's only so much you can do, but people like State's Attorney Bob Berlin have bent over backwards to not be locking up addicts, to let us get them help, to put them into long-term treatment. I know Mr. Jorgensen, Richard Jorgensen, our coroner, doesn't want to see more people coming through from opiate overdoses. So, you know, they're all on the forefront. Actually, Naperville, they're considering putting together a program here in Naperville to where if drug addicts walk into the police station and say, I want help, we'll get them put into treatment. We can't arrest our way out of this problem.
Tim Ryan started his own foundation, A Man in Recovery, when he hit his own rock bottom.
Heroin's what ultimately took me down. I was sentenced to 7 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections. I had overdosed on heroin while driving, hit 2 cars, almost killed 4 people. By the grace of God, they're all okay. But when I was in prison, I knew I was done. I plugged into recovery, and I started writing my business plan for A Man in Recovery Foundation while I was in prison. Upon release from prison, I was 13.5 months sober, started some support groups, started getting the foundation set, and then my 20-year-old son, Nicholas, died from a heroin overdose. So that really solidified everything, and this is my life's calling.
The group helps addicts who want to get clean.
That's all right. I'm glad to help you. Believe me, I've been where you're at.
Offering guidance to treatment facilities, recovery groups, even paying for the first 30 days of treatment. All in an effort to take those from dope to hope.
We guide and direct family members into treatment. A majority of the people we work with have no insurance, or they have state insurance, or they might even have good insurance. They don't know where to go. And then upon release from treatment, someone might need to get into a sober home. We do, obviously, awareness, prevention. It's crazy. You know, we're the ones that come into the houses and pick up the pieces.
In 2013, heroin took the lives of 46. In 2014, that number dropped to 33. The downward trend seems to have continued well into 2015, with 20 confirmed heroin deaths so far. But a recent spike in overdoses over the past 2 months has resulted in 7 deaths, which could be linked to the drug.
We think we're really making progress, and then we get one of these peaks that we don't know why they happen. It could be due to bad distribution. It could be due to lacing of drugs. We don't really know why this happens, but it's kind of like the same thing that happened in 2013 in July.
Though toxicology reports for those cases are still pending, the county continues to actively fight the heroin epidemic and recently rolled out the final phase in their plan, rehabilitation.
Where everybody who's saved with an overdose will be approached by someone from the health department to try to get them the resources and try to get them into rehabilitation so that we turn an addict into a productive citizen again.
With programs in place for success, the county, as well as Naperville, hopes to be a leader in the nation's fight against drugs. For 630 Naperville, I'm Natalie Vitale.